What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we are currently looking at a very bullish trade from a large hedge fund or a particular large trading firm on the S&P 500 out in September. A little over $6 million with all the contracts combined. We'll take a look at trade in a second. We'll just do some quick overhead analysis. Again, the market was up substantially more than we are currently looking at it now, basically around 11:30 a.m. here Eastern Standard Time. We got up to on the S&P 500 around a tad over, almost hitting 316, 315, 80-ish level. Again, kind of getting a huge boost up due to, I don't know, Jay Powell or other various news articles driving this market, but I think it's more optimism of the particular 4th of July weekend and that boost from the overall interest on people trading stocks and things like that, and being potentially, even though the short-term news looks very down, I think people are kind of building a potential very optimistic mindset moving forth. Again, that being said, it's very important that we'll be doing a live stream tonight. We're going to be going in probably around 9:30 to 10 p.m. tonight, depending on some moving parts. And we'll be discussing on what I'm doing in my portfolio and things like that. So if you can join that, that'd be fantastic. It's always a great time. We always look at some great stocks, do some awesome technical analysis, and just have a great time with the guys and gals. All right. So with the S&P 500 gapping up pretty substantially today, again, the 5 and 8, 21, 34, 50, 200 are very nicely stacked. The momentum is going from red to yellow, which is great. So 2 yellow days is actually a really good sign for some upward momentum. But you can kind of see here this invisible line up here, basically where we kind of topped off. I'm just going to call it around the 316 level. It's going to be a little bit at this price range. We're kind of just trading in this range. You can really see it here very well within the futures market. So within the futures market, I kind of made this little make-believe rectangle here that's kind of been trapping the price for the past 2 weeks, kind of trading in around this range. We do also have a squeeze setting up. RSI and volume is also propelling itself higher, which is a sign for potentially trying to break out of this box. So again, we go back to the S&P 500, we can see that as well if we can draw that fantastic box for you here, that rectangle. Basically this little rectangle here, if we start to break out above this level, potentially seeing the next. So looking at that with the previous high that we just had in June, that's going to be our very first line. And once we were able to break above that 316, 315 level, that's again for the bull case. For more of the bear case, what people want to see is kind of this line rejected up here, and then start printing or grinding lower, potentially to the 21 and breaking past that. Some signs that could happen is when the momentum down here changes from the yellow to red again. We can also see that with the volume oscillator as well, when that starts going towards the negative line, where people are not less likely to be buying in with higher volume to help it potentially push higher with buying instead of selling. And also, that's very interesting to look at as well, a longer term chart. Again, this is on the daily side. How we're picking up some of these prices. We can do a Fibonacci retracement here for you from the swing high to swing low. That 313 level is pretty key as well. So we're kind of trading in and around that level right now for potential kind of holding this. Maybe trading sideways for a little bit around this range, potentially to get that, again, that boost to go higher. To the downside, the 200-day has been fairly forgiving and giving us some support. Around the 297 is where we kind of got down to, but since the 50-day has kind of crossed through the 200-day, it's kind of been just like slowly kind of grinding higher. All right, so let's go ahead and jump to the trade tab so we can kind of look at this particular trade. Again, this trade was set basically 10 minutes or 11 minutes after 10 o'clock today, so about 41 minutes into trading. This individual or hedge fund was being pretty bullish in the sense of buying 3,000 contracts at the 305 call, moving forth the potential price of, again, this is out of September, so this got a little bit of time on these, so we're talking, what is that, 50, well, that would be August, September would be, okay, so basically 78 days from now is basically this particular contracts. So we can go here, hit the confirm and send. It's about 6.1 million. So we can also look at as well. Again, this trade was taking place at 10:11. Currently, the trade, you can look here via the Tastyworks account here that we're using for trading options. It's around, basically the spread's around 1915 to 1925. So it's just ever so slightly down. Again, just around the 6 million marker as well for the potential move into higher prices. So buying the options further in the money, you kind of get that higher premium with it, using that value for the higher delta, giving you the movement speeds much substantially. So if the stock moves, the higher the delta, the more the underlying option prices will move. With the volatility being at a pretty high escalated level, these could really move fairly fast to the upside. And again, I wouldn't say it's protected to the downside. Again, you can lose that overall investment in those particular options if the market overall just crashes and closes well below. Again, it's out of September, so you're going to have some time to play with it, trim positions, roll it, things like that. So being very mindful of that. Again, we can look here at the complete breakdown of this call. You can see here, we always have the volume and open interest indicated here. So again, it's the 305. We can scroll all the way down here, and you can see here there's 24,000 basically open interest, and there's just today 5,000 contracts have traded that, or the volume in that option. You can see here as well with that initial call was 3,000 of it, so it's literally 60% of all the volume that happened today was just this one single trade right there. And what I also want to do and kind of show you the overall value and how much this has moved just in the recent days. So this is the September 18th, 2020 305 call option, and you can really see it move very much so with the overall market. Again, looks exactly like the S&P 500, exactly what they're trying to mimic, the $6 million bet for the potentially to break out. On this option right here, as you see, the parabolic SIR has just switched, an indication for potentially going higher. The 5 and 8 could cross over. Again, this is also what we're currently somewhat seeing in the overall market. So this option can go pretty gangbusters. Again, this option was trading basically the north of 35, 36, beginning before the overall pandemic and everything. Potentially, if we start getting to these prices as well, this could easily double in value if the market continues going higher. So let's go back to the overall S&P 500, and basically you can see that kind of play out here as well. Again, some key takeaways before I let you go is, again, this box right here is kind of holding it in. It needs to really break out for the bull case. It needs to show us the direction it wants to go potentially, or it could head fake us. You never know. Again, a lot of people are very optimistic. There was quite a bit of selling in the first after the first an hour. There was a lot of selling because people were taking profits, getting rid of things, not wanting to deal with things over the weekend. I'm not sure, but there was just a lot of people getting out of positions. Tesla had a great run. Facebook has made a comeback. BA is doing great. These are some really in. So again, with the potential breakout here, once we can get above this, that would be good for the bulls. If you want to be on a bear side and be a little bit negative, you kind of want to see these ticks kind of fail here, potentially the next week or so, kind of start grinding back to the 21 and having these moving averages start curling over and heading to the south, as well with the 5 and 8 exponential moving averages crossing through the 21, as well with the 34, because things are kind of really tightly wound together here for that potential kick higher, indicating that. But again, everyone knows who's been trading is that no one has a crystal ball, and anything can really flip on a dime. So for me, in my portfolio, we took on our short-term options plays, we took some profits again today, just to do this overall strength and kind of not sitting on our hands and kind of waiting on what the next move could be. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. If you're interested, we have a fantastic Discord chat you can join completely free in the description down below. We also have a Patreon page. You can directly support the channel there as well. We have an affiliate link with Tastyworks is what we use for our options trading here. You can open an account and get that affiliate link down below as well. Thank you guys.